Yeah, hi Emily. Hopefully this will answer your question, what you were asking me earlier about curves. So this is a section I've been working on, and this is the ramp from the upper level, which is over on the end. All the way over there, it's about 4 inches above the level of the baseboard until where you get to the tunnel, and then from the tunnel there's a slight ramp downhill. Now the thing is with a ramp, it can't be too steep, otherwise the trains won't go up it. They'll just stall and slide backwards. And not only that, it's nice and straight up until I get to this point. Now this point has got a slight curve on it, and it keeps on curving round until we get to there. A nice gradual curve. The curve can't be too tight, otherwise it'll be too tight and the coaches will fall off it because the curvature will be too tight. Now I've carried on up to the drawbridge, and that's where I am at the moment on the drawbridge. So as you can see, this is where I am now. Now up to this point I've got the 2 tracks there. This is the one that goes up to the ramp, and this is the one that goes under the tunnel. So they both have to be reasonably close to each other, and I want them parallel, and then they'll go into a point, and then about 3 inches of track, and then they'll go into that point. So everything is nice and gradual curves, nothing tight, nothing too sudden, because otherwise it'll be too much for the wheels, and the coaches, wagons, etc. will fall off the track. So I've got about, I have to think about the the curves, the geometry, how much space I have. I want to put this track as close to the other one so they're both parallel, because what I want to do is put a little road over the 2 railway tracks so that I can turn this into a car park area. The cars can come in here, park in this area. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this, but it looks good. And then further along is where you got the water tower and the railway station. So I just want to make some sort of footpath, pedestrian access to the railway stations. So that's roughly where the track is going to go. So from there, all that is going to be some sort of car park. So that's how much room I got to play with. That's why I wanted that track pushed that way, and this track pushed this way as much as possible to give me this gap in between so I can make into a car park. And again, like I was saying about curves, this has to be nice and curved, not too tight, because it goes, obviously this is just a loose piece of track, but just gives me some idea where where it'll land. This section here is the track that goes in front of the railway station. So it does require a little bit of thought, a bit of patience. I'm just lucky I got some spare pieces I can bend. They stay in the position that it was bent, and that's where I'm up to at the moment. So the next thing I got to do, at least this section will be easier, because I won't be cutting 3mm bits of wood and then gluing it, screwing it down to the baseboard. I won't be doing that. This I'm just going to be gluing straight onto the baseboard. Or what I might do is just get some underlay, like a sheet of felt, roofing felt, just something cheap that I can lay down so that it's just a couple of mil off the baseboard. Carpet underlay is usually the cheapest, the foam on the roll type. So that's what I am up to at the moment. I hope that explains about the curves. So it's nicely curved. You don't want the curves too tight because the coaches will fall off. The gradients, you can't make the gradient too steep or the trains won't go up it. And then where the tracks join, they join onto a point. So I have to make sure that the points are far enough apart that they'll move, because as you can see I need to be able to move the track and if it's pushed up too close, I'm not going to be able to move the point. So it has to pull away, and then when I move it, that happens. And at the moment I want that point to be parallel with the other track, so that that track will meet into it, and on the other end that has got to be connected up with that. As you can see, that's too tight, so somehow I've got to angle it so that it goes like that. So because now I've moved that, this side has moved, not a lot but just a little, and I still got to be able to join this track. Now because I haven't pinned this track, it has got some movement, but I have to think of the curvature. I cannot bring it too tight. Like if I made the curvature really tight, it could ruin the track, and also the coaches will fall off. So I can't make it the curve too tight. So that explains that bit. Now when we get over to the drawbridge, the track is sat on 3mm thick plywood that's glued and screwed to the lift drawbridge. The only thing I've got to do with it now is just cut the joints, cut the rails both sides, and hey presto, the lift bridge should lift up without interfering with the tracks, without damaging the tracks. I just got to take my time and make sure I get my cut exactly level there, and the same on the other side there. But I won't do that tonight, I'll do that at a later stage. And then the track continues up the other side. Like I said, a nice gradual incline, and it goes up to another tunnel, which you can see, and that is where the track goes into the that's going to be encased in a hill, so you're not going to see that track back there. And then it goes around the back and then comes out at the tunnel where that coach is. So slow and steady, but I hope that it'll be worth it in the end. Okay, so bye for now.